Khan al Ahmar, a Bedouin village issue, there was a demolition order by the Israeli government to destroy Khan al Ahmar, which is in a very strategic area. What the Israeli government's trying to do is demolish all the Bedouin villages between East Jerusalem and the settlement, Kafah Adomim, and join them so that will literally divide the West Bank in two, which will mean that only the settlers will have the right eventually to be there, and the Palestinians will be more and more isolated. One morning, because I was living there, sleeping there, one morning we heard bulldozers coming. So myself and a couple other activists stood in front of the bulldozers, and then the Israeli police came, and often they are overly violent. They started pushing, I pushed back, and then we were arrested. And from that point on, I was taken to Kafah Adomim settlement for interrogation, then to Moscovia Penitentiary, waiting for my trial. They put me in a cell, which I thought was hardened criminals. And I foolishly started talking about Khan al Ahmar, and within 5 minutes they jumped on me. 4 of them jumped on me, they hit me, they made me deaf in one ear, and then I was bleeding in my hand, and I yelled out. The guards came and put me into solitary confinement. And after trial, the judge released me and ordered me, however, to leave the country on my own recognizance. I decided that I was not going to leave when the 25th of September came, because I started working on the International Criminal Court case against Netanyahu and Lieberman for crimes against humanity and war crimes. I wanted to prevent the destruction of the village, and after that it would be like the domino effect. The one village after another would be destroyed according to the Israeli government demolition order. So I had to go underground in Ramallah so that I could hide from arrest by the Israeli police, because now I was illegally in this area. And I was there for several months working on the complaint. When I was there, the European Parliament very timely adopted a resolution saying that if the Khan al Ahmar was destroyed, it would be considered a war crime. That, I think, bothered Netanyahu enough to hold off the destruction. I got a message from who I thought was a famous journalist from Le Monde Diplomatique, and I organized a meeting in a cafe in Ramallah, an interview there, and at the last minute, this clever manipulator said, I can't do it, my boss does not authorize us to go to Ramallah, to the Palestinian side. But we can go to Khan al Ahmar, which is in Area C, under the control of the Israeli government. And I decided that I was going to take the chance. I arrived in Khan al Ahmar, and then I saw a car on the other side of the freeway. A black car, very kind of a fancy car with 2 people there. So I made a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. I should have stayed there. Instead, I crossed the freeway and met this man. I said, let's go into the car. I'll show you how to get down the road and then under the freeway, then to Khan al Ahmar, the Bedouin village. And he said, no, let's stay here and take pictures. And within 5 minutes, 5 Israeli police cars showed up and quickly asked for my passport, but they didn't look at the computer. They knew who I was, and then got me in the car. And the next day, I was deported early in the morning. Prime Minister Netanyahu had a meeting with journalists and did not surprise anyone when it came out that he would destroy Khan al Ahmar without a problem if it would further his career and help him win the elections that are coming up in April. And that is why it's so fundamental that there's pressure against the government and against Netanyahu. We have a strong case before the International Criminal Court. If you destroy Khan al Ahmar, for sure you will be condemned as a war criminal.